What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. Hey, what are y'all doing? Huh? Y'all going into the water? Oh, these guys. Look at this mess. So now that it has started to cool down around here, we've been doing something a little bit different as a family in the mornings. We go for a walk from our front gate all the way to the back pasture and then back to the house. And the other day when we were walking, we were doing a lot of talking. It was early in the morning, just kind of visiting with each other. And all of a sudden, everybody just stopped dead in their tracks because Jason stopped. He was in front of us. He was leading us so that he could knock all the cobwebs away. Well, we got to about halfway down the dam and Jason stopped. And I was like, what are you stopping for? And then we saw this. So for those of you that don't know what that is, those are sure signs that you have a beaver. And this is, if you're not familiar with where I'm at, this is right behind me is the pond to the house. If I get up here a little bit further, you'll be able to see it. But we're now at the back part of the pond right here. And the house is right there behind me. And so all those trees that are lining the pond have now been to the point where it wouldn't take but a couple of swings to knock those trees down. So I'm expecting in a couple of days for some of them actually to be down. So I guess the question is, what do we do now? Well, if you watched the video before that we did, we said that as long as he's not doing any damage to stuff that we don't want him to do damage to, we're going to leave him alone. And really, the long-term plan for this area was to knock out all of these trees on the edge of the pond. So he had started last year and just kind of disappeared. This year, he's taken a pretty big chunk out of some of these trees, and a couple of them he's already knocked over. We're not sure where he's taking them to, but he's doing a pretty good job, so we're just gonna leave him alone for now. So since our walk down here before, Jason didn't tell me that he's been busy back here. You see, a couple of weeks ago, we had a part that was an issue with the tractor. Something broke. We had to go by Stack and pick up a part to be able to fix that so that we could get everything back up and running. And he didn't tell me that he's been busy back here. This whole area behind me, it used to be flush with the driveway, and now all of that is gone. And then behind me over here, where the pigs used to be, was up almost, it was almost to my waist when we came walking up here on, I guess it was Wednesday. So he's been busy back here, like busy like a beaver. Now the plan overall where that area was is to fix up all this fencing down here. So we have one continuous line so that we can start letting Gizmo run around on the property. We've had him, surprisingly, behind some of the Gallagher fencing, and he has never been happier. I have seen him, he's running around, and we've positioned him so that he's got ducks on one side of him, chickens on one side of him. Like, he's got a full view of the front pasture. And I'm gonna tell you why in a second. I'm gonna show you what we've done. I'm gonna tell you why. Little known fact that I didn't know. Apparently jalapeno leaves are delectable to goats, and despite what you might think, jalapeno peppers will still grow on the plant even if they don't have leaves, because I'm looking at another batch of jalapeno pepper powder before it's all said and done. You know you don't belong in there, right? And yet you're strut like one. So a few weeks ago, this was the area that we had Gizmo in. And there's actually his old house that he was in. And it was great because it gave him a lot of space and he had shade. But what we noticed by moving him from closer to the house to where he was, is we noticed how valuable he actually is on our homestead. Because once we started moving him back away from the front pasture, we started losing birds. And while there's not much that's more annoying than hearing a dog bark at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's more annoying when you lose like a lot of birds. And I'm talking about in a very quick time. So we've moved him. So I don't know if you know where we're at. Here's the milk barn. House is back behind me right here. And we're in the big garden, or where the big garden will be eventually. And he's set up right here. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but just behind him, there's some ducks. And then we have the Eggmobile and 2 tractors, 2 of the Suskowitz tractors, and then several of the smaller tractors. So he's just chilling over here. He keeps an eye on the driveway a lot, but the girls made him a pretty nice shelter out of a cattle panel and some tarps that we got on sale. So he's just chilling. Are you doing your job, Gizmo? Nice little tail flop there. We brought all of these tractors down closer towards the house so we could keep an eye on everybody. And when we were moving everyone, I noticed that these guys who've been laying eggs for me, that they had kind of slowed down, and I was seeing a lot of feathers. So I'm pretty sure they were molting, but it looks like there's at least 1 egg in there. So I'm excited to see that again. This group, the smaller bantams that I got at the beginning of the year, they are also sporadically starting to lay. So I need to make sure that we're giving them laying feed to help with that. My other layers are not quite there. I don't know if we're gonna get any before the end of the season, but the plan is to cull some of the older hens out of the Eggmobile and start integrating these guys into the Eggmobile before it starts to get cold, so that they're at least used to, you know, being locked up in the Eggmobile and moved around and everything for next spring. Are you kidding me? This duck cracks me up. We put 4 ducks, because that's all we have left from the runners. We put all 4 of them in some Gallagher fencing. And the mama duck keeps getting out. Now earlier when I was over here filming with y'all, she was nowhere to be found. She was out roaming around. Lo and behold, I come back over here. There she is. Looks like now we have the mom and one girl and then the 2 boys. So we're definitely gonna be looking for more ducks, hopefully in the spring. Well, I'm glad you guys were able to come walk around with us and see what all we have been changing and what all we've got going on. We will be putting out videos Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. So make sure that you set your calendar, set your clock for those, because YouTube's not sending them out. So if you guys just kind of remind yourselves to check for us, it's usually going to be in the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. We would really appreciate if you just kind of keep an eye out for those and give us the thumbs up and give us a view. We've been trying really hard to kind of stay back in the routine, and it's really hard to do that when YouTube is just really not throwing our videos out there. So we know you guys, we can count on y'all. So I'm just asking from us to y'all, if you would do that, we would be very much appreciative. Thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless and have a nice day.